Answering the title in one sentence? Same problems as us. The issues of a billionaire may be different, but very similar to those of other socioeconomic classes, albeit often on a larger scale. For example, jealousy still exists even at higher levels. The reality of living in poverty is a constant struggle permeated by financial stress, where the lack of money exerts an oppressive dominion over every aspect of life. Every penny becomes a battle to stretch the salary until the next payment, while uncertainty looms over essential expenses such as food and energy. The constant fear of not being able to cover basic needs is suffocating, and any unforeseen event can lead to devastating consequences. When health fails, the concern is not only physical recovery, but also the financial burden associated with medical care. Every doctor's visit or medication becomes a tough decision between health and precarious financial stability. And if something positive happens, like improvements in the neighborhood, hope is often overshadowed by the worry of not being able to afford to stay in that place if costs rise. Even working tirelessly, often in poorly paid and unstable jobs, social status remains stagnant, and the feeling of being treated as a second-class citizen is a constant reality. Society often looks at the poor as unproductive or negligent, ignoring the daily struggles they face just to survive. Thus, the influence of money on the lives of the poor is not only severe, but also deeply negative. It's a reality where the lack of financial resources not only limits opportunities, but also shapes the very essence of existence, undermining dignity and restricting the potential for a fulfilling and meaningful life. If you're wealthy, many things in your life improve, but again, money dominates your life. Although wealth brings with it a host of advantages and improvements in quality of life, it's undeniable that money continues to exert a significant influence on the daily lives of those who possess it. Financial management becomes a constant concern, as once you discover the good things, a high level of attention is devoted to ensuring that investments are optimized and resources are protected against potential threats. Additionally, personal and family relationships can be affected by money dynamics. Concerns about heirs, current or future spouses primarily interested in your fortune, and even frequent legal disputes can be common challenges faced by the wealthy. The propensity to be the target of legal proceedings is amplified, often due to the perception that they have more resources to compensate for any damages. And as different as they may be, billionaires also work. Usually, they are the top executives of large companies, which handle large amounts of money and have many employees. Dealing with the responsibility of being the CEO of a company is a significant burden because every decision made has the potential to impact not only the organization, but also thousands of lives that depend on it for livelihood. The weight of this responsibility is constantly felt, knowing that a wrong choice could result in a cascade of consequences, including job losses for countless employees and their families. Each decision requires careful analysis with a high degree of stress, as the future of a company and its stakeholders is intricately linked to the actions of these individuals. If you liked it, subscribe to the channel. The reality of being rich also brings with it the perception that people around you may try to take financial advantage of your situation. Inflated prices and unfair business proposals are common, based on the presumption that you can afford it. Maintaining anonymity can be a challenge, as notoriety often accompanies wealth, exposing the rich to a range of security and privacy issues. For many wealthy individuals, access to private services becomes a necessity, from medical care to personal and legal security. Even so, living a lifestyle commensurate with wealth can become a vicious cycle, requiring continuous expenses to maintain status, social connections, and the established standard of living. This can result in underlying financial fragility, especially if there is a sudden disruption in income sources or a setback in investments. As one reaches a high status in society, the dynamics of interpersonal relationships change significantly, often revealing a striking duality in people's attitudes around them. While those living in poverty and with lower social status may be perceived as honest, if rough individuals of high status often encounter a myriad of deceitful and self-serving behaviors. Social ascent brings with it exposure to nearly limitless creativity on the part of those seeking to benefit from a person's elevated position. Superficial friendships, exaggerated flattery, and even false demonstrations of affection are common tactics employed by dishonest individuals in their quest for personal gain. The environment resembles high-stakes poker tables, where strategies are more elaborate due to the skill of the players, reflecting the complexity of social interactions in circles of power and influence. In addition to this interest-driven approach, which in turn is expected, there is also a huge sense of envy that exists among family members. When a person stands out financially, it is entirely expected that siblings and close relatives do not achieve the same success. These individuals may feel entitled to a portion of the financial success, even if they have not directly contributed to it. These dynamics can cause serious family conflicts. An often misunderstood reality is that the luxurious lifestyle of a billionaire today does not necessarily reflect their past situation. Many have accumulated their wealth through decades of hard work and dedication, with long hours and personal sacrifices. However, family members and others may assume they are entitled to a similar standard of living, whether now or in the future. In some cases, billionaires opt for temporary solutions, such as offering salaries or fictitious jobs to family members to maintain peace and harmony, although this may only be a short-term solution. Another invisible burden may be raising children. Having multiple nannies, better schools, clothes, and food may seem sufficient. But for billionaires who grew up honestly, teaching their children the principle of hard work will be difficult because they will never see the struggle of those who were very poor from the beginning. In addition to dealing with health issues, of course, they can afford the best hospitals and care. But the founder of Zerodar, Nathan Kamath, a young billionaire in good shape, recently ended up in the hospital with a stroke. As one reaches the social and economic elite, the struggle to maintain and increase status intensifies, accompanied by a growing threat of manipulation and exploitation by individuals operating on the fringes of ethics and morality. The need to protect not only one's own interests, but also those of loved ones becomes a constant battle against a variety of adversaries willing to transgress any boundary in pursuit of personal advantage. The emotional and psychological weight of living in this environment of constant surveillance and mistrust can be overwhelming, leaving those who have achieved desirable social heights tired and disillusioned with human nature and its complex interactions. It is undeniable that wealth offers a series of advantages compared to poverty, providing access to opportunities and comforts that many aspire to. However, even for those belonging to the middle class, money exerts a significant influence on their lives, shaping their choices and limiting their possibilities unexpectedly. If you liked this video, please support the channel in the first pinned comment. And since we've learned that no matter how perfect it may seem, they have the perfect life, did you know that within this world of the ultra-rich, there exists a social caste? That's what I talk about in this screen video. Until next time.